So I usually do these on Instagram Live, but I thought I would do this on YouTube so I have a little more control. But that is the fig tree, which most of those will be gone as soon as my mom gets here. My dad loves them. And for some reason it is spring here. It is the middle of October. My garden does not know that, and we have hummingbird wars, so kind of strange. But the roses started blooming again, which I guess I'm not going to complain. My mom just built these for me so that I have a way to grab on to get up here. You can hear the little chickens cooing back there. That pink flower is a special kind of passion flower. The fruits look like bananas. They're really good. I always hedge everything with salvias. They don't require a lot of water, and bees and hummingbirds love them. Oh, it's getting bright. So we had a gopher issue. I think we still do. My cat was out hunting, but you'll see a bunch of holes. So that's the entrance to the chicken coop. Not kidding about the hummingbird war. It is epic out there. That's the pear tree. I'm gonna have to brace it for a little thing. And I have 2 different salvias growing here. Actually, I have 3. The great thing about salvias is if you're trimming them or if one breaks, you can usually just grab it and throw it in a pot. And that purple flower I was walking past a salvia and it broke. So I just threw it in this pot and now it's doing great and I have new salvia. I'm creating a little moss garden in here. We'll see how well that works. This is the other part of the chicken coop, and we're gonna let the girls out because they are mad and want out into their grazing area. This is the tunnel. So it goes all the way around the artist cottage. That's a Tuff Shed that I turned into a very small guest house, study area, workshop, photo studio, kind of what everyone needs. There's the girls, and this goes all the way around, so they have lots of space to graze. This is a little mini shade garden here, and this is one of the weirdest plants I have in my collection. I have a few, but this one's crazy. It's called a tomato tree. Those are edible. And this is supposed to be an ice cream banana plant. I have no idea. I bought it off Etsy. It's definitely a banana plant. We'll see what it ends up giving. No clue. That's the last of the tobacco back there. I love it. It smells so good, especially at night, but I think it's just about out of its season. Over here is kind of where we all hang out at night. We sit out here and have dinner. I also always keep a pot full of loose soil to just see what I can throw in. So those are different little branches of things that I popped in there to see if they'll grow roots. That is jasmine, so in the spring it just smells amazing. And this is one of my favorite views of the whole house. So when I was sitting here, I can just sort of watch the hummingbirds. Over here is my little secret garden, and that is a salvia. I have a baby apple tree. You won't be able to see it, but I have it wrapped into that arch. So that as it grows up and hardens, it'll harden into the arch and it'll support this grapevine here and another rose, and will give apples, which will be pretty awesome. I also have another grapevine on that arbor, and over here along the chicken fence I have passion fruit, mulberry, and another grape, and then I have a peach tree which I'm lashing to it so that it'll grow kind of Espadilla style. Probably pronounced that wrong. I have a little hidden pomegranate back here, which I'll probably have to move. We'll see what happens with it. This right here is a pear tree. It has really good pears. And then I have a really nice heirloom rose right here. So this over here is like a little mini shade garden where I have my mosses. This is the end of the grape season, but for a while we couldn't even get in here without ducking. The grapes were so big. That's that apple tree. There's another apple tree back there. And in this wild, insane forest, there is another apple tree. I keep all of them at about 5 feet. Those are the last of the tomatoes. There's a little hidden Thai basil back there and an opal basil. And this sage went nuts. It's one of my favorite sages. It's a late bloomer. It doesn't start blooming until September or October, and it is gorgeous. And if you trim back your roses right after their first run through, you can usually get it to time just right, so you get these purples and pinks, which is just gorgeous. Over this way we have some begonia, some star jasmine, I have currants. That's usually where I sit. I'm usually on the other side of this working, but it's a nice view. I used this antique ladder when I forgot about it as a trellis. Didn't actually plan that, but it worked out well. And I'm growing a nice little moss garden. I was growing it somewhere else. You will see what happened to it. I swear to you, none of us are immune to gophers. It does not matter how long you have been working on your garden. Gophers. This looked really nice for a while, but they got in. Neighbors were doing some yard work, and we have gophers now. So eventually we're going to fill all this in. I'm removing the moss today and putting it in new places. And then what I'm going to do is do a little field of wildflowers and low water grasses. And over here I have my little secret fountain, and it is one of my favorite places to sit, especially in the summer. It stays really nice and cool here. You get the smell from the rosemary, which is really nice. And in there I have little stones so the bees can go and get their drink. One of them is a very special one my cousin brought back from where we used to hang out as kids. And then over here, this is kind of, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a lettuce. It tastes sort of like cinnamon. It's really wonderful. This pomegranate's gotten really overgrown, and since it's winter, I'm just sort of letting everything just sort of grow into itself and letting all the wildlife feast. This bean was really great and helpful, and that's the end.